and welcome to week 13 of the Pro Football Contest Show. I'm your host, Jesse Flynn. Well, last week was probably the nail in the coffin for my chances of making the money for the full season in the Circa Millions. I needed a strong showing last week and instead ended up going 1-4 and literally watched every single one of my games just about go down in flames in the final seconds as Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Seattle all lost 7-point leads in the final seconds of the game. The Saints get inside the 49ers 5-yard line twice, can't score any points, lose 13-0. And even the Cardinals, though they were the one win in the contest, actually cost me money in real life because I had them on the money line and they gave up a touchdown in the final seconds of the game, and the Chargers go for two, get it, and win the game outright. So last week was just a horrible, horrible week, and it's just, I don't know what the last month has been, what I did, if I cursed myself, if I need to go see a voodoo priestess and have some kind of a seance or something. I don't know. I've just been in betting purgatory for the last 4 weeks, but I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm going to keep going, keep trying. Still have the fourth quarter prizes that could potentially win, so there's that motivation to stay motivated in the contest. And I still like giving out the picks and creating the videos, so I'm going to continue with that, and hopefully we can make up some money these last few weeks, head into the playoffs strong, and really build up our bankroll in those last couple games of the season. But it's week 13. We've got some great matchups this week. Some really, really, really good games between good teams. We're starting to see the good teams separate themselves from the bad teams and, playoff implications with almost every game now. So it's really getting exciting. Wish I was really close to the top 100 in the contest to make it even more exciting. But again, we're going to pull through. We're going to persevere. Try to go 5-0 this week and see if somehow we can salvage something out of this season. So this week, kind of going with straight contest picks for the video. If you want my best bets, you can always go over to deadmoneymedia.com and sign up. I got different things there that you can see for all our football betting content. But week 13, I've got my 5 games. Like I said, I'm going with contest picks for this one, so I'm going to be going with some teams that may not be very popular, but we'll see how it all shakes out. So let's get into it and see which 5 games I've chosen for week 13 of the NFL season. So the first game that I like is the Miami Dolphins going out west to take on the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers have been playing outstanding. Defense hasn't given up a point in the second half in their last 4 games. But now they've got a Miami Dolphins offense coming in there that is just lights out right now. They're playing top of their game. And, betting-wise, Tua against the NFC, he's 7-1 straight up, 6-2 against the spread. Jimmy Garoppolo as a favorite is he's 10-13-1 against the spread. And Kyle Shanahan as a favorite is 21-29-1 against the spread. We know Kyle Shanahan's always better on the road than he is at home when it comes to covering the spread. And I just think 4 points is too much. This feels like a field goal game, whichever way it goes. And I'm banking on the on the Miami Dolphins offense showing up and being able to score in the second half against the San Francisco defense. And I also expect this Dolphins defense that's been pretty stout against the run to be able to slow down San Francisco's run game. McCaffrey showed up on the injury report. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But that's a bonus to us if he doesn't end up playing. But even if he does, I still think that there's this Miami Dolphins defense is good enough to keep this game close. And I actually think the Dolphins have a really good chance of winning this game with the way Tua's playing, the way his wide receivers are responding. This offense is just clicking. And, once they start getting into a groove, they're really hard to stop. So for my first pick, give me the Miami Dolphins +4. So my second pick is the Kansas City Chiefs -2 heading to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. This is a revenge spot for the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost to these Bengals 34-31 last year in the regular season, then lost to them again in the playoffs. So they've definitely got a reason to come out and put their best game on display, and I think they will. Patrick Mahomes has been outstanding on the road against the spread. He's 24-15-1. Joe Burrow's also been really good against the spread too. I believe he's 15-3 against the spread in his last 18 starts. So, it's tough to handicap this game, but I just think that the Chiefs are going to come out ready to play. They've got Jones back on defense. He really helps out. And they're starting to find some kind of a running game with Pacheco. Looks like they should have almost all their wide receivers back on offense. I'm not sure if Kadarius Toney will be back. And then as far as for the Bengals, I'm not sure if Jamar Chase is gonna be back for them or not. If they're gonna rush him back for this game, it looks like he should play though. But I expect this game to be a back and forth battle. But I think the Chiefs in the end will pull it out. We've seen them be able to come from behind even when they're losing. They've been behind, I think, in their last couple of games at halftime, and they've still come back to win those games straight up. And I just think they're playing some of their best football right now. Patrick Mahomes certainly looks like the MVP, and Kansas City's actually the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl right now. So this will just be another game for them to help them get that first place in the playoffs and get the first round bye and the home playoff game. So this has got playoff implications written all over it for both of these teams. And I just think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get it done here. So for my second pick, give me the Kansas City Chiefs -2. So for my third pick, it's the Chicago Bears +4.5 at home taking on the Green Bay Packers. I don't have any numbers that are going to say that this is the right side. Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears, particularly in Chicago, but he's injured. He's going to be out there playing in the cold. He's got the broken thumb and the banged up ribs, and it looks like Justin Fields is going to be playing for Chicago. This line's moved from 4.5 in the contest in betting market. It's now at 3.5 and can potentially get all the way down to 3 or below 3 by Sunday. And I just think, the Green Bay Packers really have nothing to play for other than pride at this point. Chicago is trying to see what they've got in their offense. They're trying to build something. And I think they're going to come out. They're going to play hard. They're going to compete. They're at home. They'll have the crowd behind them. And I think they'll be able to keep this game close. Even if Green Bay does end up pulling off the victory, I don't think it'll be by more than 3 points. And in the contest, you're getting 4.5. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to like Green Bay. They're probably not going to like Chicago too much either after them getting beat down last weekend. But I think this is a good spot here. And I think this is a game people might try to steer clear of. So it might give me an opportunity to gain a point in the contest against people who aren't really picking this game. So that's all I really got for this game. I don't have any other analysis, any against the spread numbers for Chicago. Actually, everything says that Green Bay is the right side. And that's basically why I'm picking Chicago here, because I just think that in order to try to make up some ground in this contest, I'm going to have to pick teams that may not be popular. And I think this might be one of them. So for my third pick, give me the Chicago Bears +4.5. So for my fourth pick, I'm going with the Tennessee Titans +4.5 on the road, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this line's already started to move in the direction of the Titans. I actually got it earlier in the week at +5. Now in the contest, it's +4. And this line could potentially go down even lower before the game starts. And, the Titans, they've been killing it this year against the spread. They had that long stretch where I think they went 8-0 against the spread. They've had a couple of tough losses. They were in that game against Cincinnati last week. They just couldn't get it done in the red zone. But I think Ryan Tannehill, he gives this offense an extra dimension where defenses can't just key off on Derrick Henry, knowing that they're going to give him the ball, 25 times a game. But if Tannehill's working the play action and they're being able to hit the ball downfield, defenses have to respect that. And I just think this is a good spot for them. Philly's been great this year, but we've seen the last couple of weeks that they don't put teams away. The way you would think a team that's as good as Philadelphia would. They let teams hang around, and that's right up the alley of what Mike Vrabel wants to do with this Titans team. The Tennessee Titans under Vrabel, they're 24-15 against the spread. So he's been good against the spread, especially as an underdog. And although Jalen Hurts, he's actually got some good numbers against the spread at home too. But when it comes to a team like Philadelphia that's got the record that they have and been winning games the way they have, the books like to inflate these lines, and that's what I think they're doing here. I don't think this is more than a 3-point game, so I feel like I'm getting a point and a half of value. A lot of people are probably going to want to bet the Philadelphia Eagles because of how good they have been the last couple of weeks. Or the whole season, and the fact that the Titans have been on a losing streak the last couple of weeks. But again, taking the points with the road team, they've been money all year, and I think this is a good spot to try to, again, get another point in the contest. The Tennessee Titans defense always comes ready to play. Vrabel's always got his team prepared. Coach Sirianni, we've seen him make a few questionable calls in the last few weeks, going for it on fourth downs in his own area, like early in the game, and things like that. What he did against Green Bay last week that allowed them to get back in the game before Philadelphia finally pulled away. You have to wonder, like, what's going on in his head, and will he play into the hands of Mike Vrabel, who loves to let other teams make mistakes and then capitalize on those mistakes. So I think this is a good spot. I think it's a good pick for the contest. And so I'm going with the Tennessee Titans plus 4.5. So my fifth and final pick is the Los Angeles Chargers plus 1, heading out to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Raiders, they broke my spirits last weekend. They were one of the teams. Scored that touchdown. Seattle had a 7-point lead inside the final 2 minutes, gave up the lead, ended up losing the game in overtime. And the Chargers did the same. I had the Cardinals money line as part of the parlay and in my personal bets because I thought they would win that game. And the Chargers came back in the final few seconds, scored a touchdown, went for 2, and won that game outright. So what can I say, about these two teams? But I like the Chargers here. I like what's going on. Keenan Allen's back. You're seeing DeAndre Carter and Palmer really start to show up as wide receivers for this offense. Obviously, Eckler is always going to do his thing. Justin Herbert's been looking really good the last couple of weeks, driving his teams, giving his teams an opportunity to win. And the defense, they're still not great, but they're getting better. Khalil Mack's been, terrorizing offenses the last couple of weeks. Derwin James is starting to play up to, his potential. And you're starting to see this defense start to kind of come into form a little bit. They still struggle against the run, but what Josh Jacobs did last week against Seattle, I don't think he'll be able to replicate that again this week with that dominant game that he had. And I think the Raiders were really desperate for a victory, and they did everything they could in that game to get the win. And I just don't see them being able to duplicate it again this week. I think the Chargers are going to come in. They're going to be able to move the ball. The defense is going to be able to get after Derek Carr with this weak offensive line, and I think they're going to be able to win this game straight up. So, it's only a 1-point spread, so obviously the books are telling you that this is basically a coin flip, and on a neutral field, the Chargers would be the favorite. So I like the Chargers. The Raiders, I think last week was just a fluke. I think they got lucky against Seattle, and I don't think that luck's going to carry over to this week. So for my final pick, give me the Chargers plus 1. So those are my 5 picks for Week 13 of the NFL Contest Show. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Head on over to deadmoneymedia.com where you can sign up for all of our exclusive football content. Help support the channel. It really helps a lot. But now it's time for the NFL Contest Show parlay for Week 13. The picks are the Miami Dolphins plus 4, the Kansas City Chiefs money line minus 130, the Chicago Bears plus 4.5, the Tennessee Titans plus 4.5, and the Los Angeles Chargers money line even money. Put those 5 teams in a parlay, comes out to plus 3260, so almost 24-1. Hopefully we can hit one of these 5-0 weeks finally, really make up some of the money that I've lost over the last 4 weeks, and get myself back into some type of contention going into the final home stretch of the Circa Millions contest. Well, I hope everybody's out there is enjoying the NFL season. Let's enjoy the games this week. I hope everybody makes a lot of money, and thanks for watching.